Hi there, I'm Jody Black with Carolina Game Tables. This short little video is going to show you how to clean and disinfect your game table. We're preparing this during the time of the pandemic for coronavirus, so if you're watching it later, some of this stuff has a lot to do with that and maybe not what you're dealing with right now, but it should probably still be handy. So first of all, we're standing here at a 5x5 game table. It has 8 cup holders in it, which are missing right now. So step 1, take out your cup holders, because that way you can clean all the way to the edges. And you can take your cup holders straight to the sink and wash them just like you do any cup you would drink from. So hand wash in the sink is best. You can also put them in the top rack of your dishwasher, but remember those are painted surfaces, so they'll kind of break down over time. So as long as you don't care about that, we do sell you replacements. So that's your cup holders, and then you're going to start working on the inside of your table and then work your way out. So now for you coronavirus people who are worried about everything that's going on, and I understand that because we're pretty much terrified too, all of these instructions have been prepared with the CDC's guidelines in mind, and we've gone to our fabric supplier, our finish supplier, our wood supplier. We've talked to all of these different people just to verify that those specific products that they've listed are the ones that you should use and which ones you should not use. So that's what I'm going to be talking about here. I am not a healthcare professional. I'm not actually a carpenter, but I am trying to put forward the best information for you to use for our tables and to protect your investment. You should be able to still use a lot of these same instructions on other hard surfaces around your home too. So let's start with your play area. First of all, you're going to get cardboard dust in here. So pick up your cardboard dust using a lint roller. That is the best way to remove the cardboard dust, honestly. And you can even sweep it up with your hand into the corners and then pick it up with the lint roller or piece of tape or something like that. In an extreme emergency, I don't know what cardboard game you were opening up, but it was a real mess. You can use a vacuum cleaner. Just make sure it's got an upholstery attachment like this, and you're not sticking it down on there so hard that you're going to pull it up and actually create a bubble in the fabric, pulling it away from the glue and from the plywood underneath. So you don't want that to happen, but you can just very lightly use it to kind of pick up the dust that's on the table. So there are other messes that will happen in your play area. People will spill salsa and drop pizza, and all sorts of messes are going to happen. So before you clean anything in here, first of all, pick up the solids, paper towels, that kind of thing. Always blot, don't rub, because that just pushes the fabric, the stain down into the fabric. Test what you're about to clean with on the underside of your tabletop. The same fabric that's under here is under here too. Even if it's not the same color, it's the same kind of fabric, and it's adhered with the same glue. So test your cleaner under here, and if it does not create a bleach stain, then it's safe to use. You can also check the bottle and say, oh look, there's no bleach, that should be fine. The things you want to stay away from in your cleaning area are any products with bleach or alcohol, because those are the things that will reduce the ability of your fabric to stand up to stains over time. So we find that the best product around the office is just plain old dishwashing soap. And this is a bottle for Dawn, but it has long since been repurposed for whatever dish soap we're using currently. And you just pump a few suds into your hand, put the suds onto the pizza grease, press it into the stain with a paper towel, then use distilled water to rinse the stain back up. More water, and then lift it back up. You might have to do that several times to get the stain out of there, but it works. It's very, very easy to clean, honestly. So what do you not use again? Anything with bleach. Save this for your bathroom, people. That's in your kitchen. You can use this there, but don't use this on your table. Don't use bleach on your table at all. More about that later. Okay, so for cleaning and for cleaning the table, you've got your lint roller. Sometimes you've got to clean it with a little bit of, dish detergent or any kind of household cleaner. Just test it first. But for CDC guidelines for disinfecting, they recommend, and our suppliers recommend, Lysol. Lysol spray, especially in the aerosol can. We couldn't find the aerosol can today because supplies, but we did find this, and we did test it on a piece of fabric and it seems to be doing okay, other than the fact that it puts out a really heavy stream. So you only need a light spray of the Lysol there and just let it air dry. This actually says to wipe dry, probably because it's such a thick, heavy stream that comes out with it. But you just need to let the Lysol spray dry out in the air naturally. It should take less than 3 minutes or so. Anything longer than that, you probably doused your table pretty darn good. Now we move into your play area. You always wash from the inside out, because if you do use that Lysol spray and it touches a surface that you're going to eat off of, it needs to be rinsed with water. So to clean your table, just use soap and water. It's kind of like skin in that respect. In fact, this 5x5 has our new shiny finish on it. This has more lacquer on it, so if you've got one of our older tables from when we first started, you'll notice that it's got more reflection happening here. That's because of the new lacquer that we've been putting on. This will hold up longer and be less susceptible to scratching over time. It's also cleaner and safer because you can use stronger chemicals to clean your table. That doesn't mean that we recommend anything more than what I'm going to be saying in this video, but still it's going to hold up longer. So what you're going to clean your table with first, so you're just going to take your washcloth to the sink, lather it up with some good old-fashioned soap and water, get warm water. Just like the Alton Brown hand washing video, just go ahead and lather up any kind of soap. It does not even have to be antibacterial to clean your table. So when you're bringing it back over to your table, make sure the washcloth is good and wrung out. You don't want to have to carry it over and like not be worrying about dripping, because you don't want to put a whole lot of water onto your table, but that will let you get enough water on there, enough soap on there to clean up any messes. And of course, if you've got something kind of stubborn there, like a spot peanut butter from a kid, yeah, you just keep scrubbing that until it comes up. Then you take another one that's nice and dry and buff it all clean, and that'll bring it a nice pretty shine too. I'm using microfiber cloths. These don't leave any dust behind like a paper towel will, but you can use a paper towel, of course, that's easier. Finally, that's the cleaning part. Now the disinfecting part. To disinfect your table, you can use Clorox or Lysol brand disinfecting wipes. Just watch out for bleach. You don't want to use bleach on your table just because it's going to get into your play area and maybe affect that play area fabric. If we're using it on the polyurethane surface, it's fine. We just don't want to use it very strong. Now, the CDC's guidelines are for a 5 tablespoon dilution in a gallon of water. We kind of say don't do that, just because if you have access to this, use this. It's cleaner, it's faster, it's easier, and anyways. If you can't, then use the CDC guidelines. They're fine to use on the tables. They're just a pain because you'd have to watch out for getting it into the play area. And if you're working on the tabletop and there's a seam, don't let it drip down into the play area because that'll leave you with spots in your play area. So that's why we're saying don't use bleach. It's just we don't want you to mess up your table long term. But yeah, there's no problem with using these Lysol wipes. Just pull one out. You've already cleaned your table. It's free of any kind of bits of grime and that kind of thing. So all you're doing now is applying that disinfectant layer and then letting it air dry. That is all that's required there. And the last thing I just wanted to say here is that when you're finished with your cleaning, wash your hands. That's the single best thing that you can do to help prevent the spread of disease in your home and to keep everybody safe and healthy. Also, don't forget to wipe down other hard surfaces like chairs, light switches, faucet handles, all of that other stuff that's going on around there. If you have any questions for us, please drop us a comment on the video. I'll be around later and I can answer those. Or you can email us at info@carolinagametable.com. I'm Jody Black with Carolina Game Tables. Thank you for watching.